Hello and welcome back to our Save a Seat series here on Patreon. I am joined once again by Faith Blackwell, who wrote Fashion, A Black Legacy in issue 10, Influence of More. So thank you for joining us to dig deeper here on our Patreon.
Thank you for having me.
We're so glad to have you as a first-time guest to the podcast. That's always very exciting for me. We've been doing the podcast now for about 3 years, and since you were a contributor before, it's always nice to have somebody for the first time. But tell us, first, I would love to know what you wrote for the magazine before, if people didn't get a chance to catch that piece.
Okay, I didn't write, but I had like a photo series. So it
Okay.
was featuring a jewelry designer. So I worked with a model and worked with Ariana to like stage some um photography for a jewelry designer. So yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
And how did you feel about that piece when it came out?
I felt good. It was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The model I had worked with her before like years ago, so it's nice to reconnect with her, and Ariana is always a joy. So it's always good to like be reconnected with creatives. It's a great energy.
Yeah, I imagine it happens because, Indianapolis is a big place, but it can also feel like a small town too.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like every time I'm out with Ariana, she recognizes somebody and has to
She
talk to
knows
them,
everybody. She knows everybody.
which we love.
Yes, yes.
Um, so tell us a little bit more about you and your business. So you mentioned in the first one that you have your own studio and you
Mhm.
work with different creatives to make things like the piece that was featured and more, but you also mentioned that you sell some pieces. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about what is your life is like as a creative and a photographer.
Okay, well, I'll kind of like take you the step from photo shoot to production and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll start off with an idea and I call it crazy. My friends don't call it crazy because they jump right in. So it's not crazy, but I start off with an idea, ask them, are they down? They usually are. We'll work with a local designer if we can, because there's a lot of designers here that, want to get images taken and want their clothes and different things so they can show them in different ways. So we get together a team, we do a shoot in my studio, and from that I'll edit it in different ways. I've done editing in like I said before, where I change different backgrounds, different colors. I can take like simple things and just flip it on his head. And I'll say I wear all black, but I create in all color. So I have a whole color of the rainbow that I use. And sometimes from that, I will take it and I do a series of coasters that everyone likes and can use. So I'll put artwork on my coasters. I'll put
Nice.
them on various products because I believe in, you know, um, various streams of income.
Mhm.
So you can find it on a t-shirt, you can find it on I started doing lunch boxes, which became really popular. So and just I don't do just traditional artwork, but I can put some things on different products so you can take little things home. If you can't afford a big piece, you can take a coaster home. You can afford a $15 coaster. And that's a
Right.
little piece of artwork in itself. And I'll have people put those on little table stands and have them as artwork. So they start off their collection that way.
Yeah, it's so practical, but also it
Mhm.
makes sense that, something that serves a function should also be beautiful.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that is excellent. So, we also talked in the first episode about the photos that are featured with this piece, which
Mhm.
I think are so great. Like, I love that they just tell such a strong story. And one of your photos ended up being chosen for the cover as well,
Yes.
which is definitely one of my favorite covers so far.
Oh, yay, I'm glad, I'm glad.
Yes,
I did not know it was gonna be the cover.
I
Ariana just, like, surprised it on me, so she was like, "Guess what? You made the cover." Yes, I had no idea that that was gonna happen, so it was a great surprise.
yeah, a fabulous surprise. It was
Mhm.
actually between 2 of your photos, and I
Okay.
know this because your style is so distinct.
Do you know
Um,
which the other one was?
I do. It was the side profile with
Oh,
the
okay,
women's
yes,
background,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
But we had something similar on the cover of a different issue. I believe it was
Okay.
issue 4 that had another side profile
Mhm,
that, featured somebody, so I said, "I think the other one is gonna be a stronger choice,"
mhm.
because You know, it exudes such like power and confidence and
Mhm.
cool. And
Yeah.
I just loved that like it was really symmetrical and the
Mhm.
colors are somewhat simple, but really, really effective.
Yeah, I think that's my style too. I just like clean pops
Yeah.
of color here and there, so it makes a statement. I call everything a statement piece, so it makes a statement.
Yeah. And were you at the pre-launch happy hour this year?
I was not, I was out of town for it, so I missed
Okay.
it. Yes.
I am wondering, there were some prints hung up around the space, and they
Yes.
looked very similar to your
They
work
were,
as well.
yes, yes, yes. There were a few, yes. I have work in that space. Mhm.
Yeah, those were very cool, and it's really neat to see them blown up so big
It
too.
looks I always say it, things look better in person than, on a social media or on, the pages because like I said, in some of my work, I'll add like texture to it. So I add a lot of things that makes it pop, makes
Yeah.
it sparkle. I try to add little glittery touches because I believe everything should sparkle. I believe you need some sparkle in your life. So we should all sparkle a little bit.
I couldn't agree more. Um, did you choose the photos that ended up being featured for your
I
piece?
did. I did.
Okay, so how did you make that final determination? Was it hard?
I think I just chose the best of the best
Hmm.
because at any time I could probably go through those photos now and pick out like 5 more that I like. But
Right.
just at the time, it's just like, okay, this is strong, this is strong. I knew which ones were the strong ones.
Yeah.
And I actually just like sent a bunch and didn't know, it's like choose what you want, choose what you don't want. So I just leave it up to you guys to do that. But I chose like what I felt were the strongest images that I had.
Yeah, nice. When you are creating, taking photos, crafting a piece, deciding an outfit, how do your inspirations that you mentioned, like the other creators that inspire you, how do they inform the choices that you're making?
Um, I think I look to them. I look to them and then I look to kind of like what we have and what we can do
Yeah.
because we're not going to have the exact same things, but we can have the same feeling for things. So it's a lot of that, like interpreting what feeling you want to portray. So I think I do a lot of that because I'll screenshot everything. I mean, there is so much in this Met Gala that I could take inspiration from and try to, throw some flowers on things, just like be totally creative with things. And I know my stylists will do just that. So, because you've seen in the magazine issue, the one with the buttons, the pants with the buttons and the vest, like
Yeah.
that was done the bottle caps. That was done by a local stylist or a local designer. So they did all of that work, that intricate work. And it
Wow.
was with the relationship of the stylist that they got to, be published in a magazine now. Cause they also had like earrings that went along with it. So, and the hairstylist that braided her hair is local and now, and you've seen it, that's talent, that's
Yeah.
skill. So we are inspiring each other with different things.